True inspiration comes when I live in the real spirit, when I am filled with the spirit of peace, of love, of the divine. It's similar to enthusiasm, which is derived from the ancient word meaning filled with the Spirit of God. It is the natural state of the soul to be in that state of aliveness. The opposite of inspiration is inertia. I may be busy with activities and projects, but if my soul is filled with the spirit of only physical things, of situations, of things that people have said, of thoughts about the future, the body, the past, if my mind is only filled with those things, then no matter how busy I am, the soul will still feel stuck, caged by the world of form around me. To move from a state of inertia to inspiration, I only have to learn the very simple practice of taking my mind to the edge of the world, of letting go of stories and dramas, even if only for a few moments. Just to be in the spirit. The true spirit has no story, no drama. It is simply pure vibration. So for the next few moments, just think of the quality of peace and allow that quality to completely fill your being. Feel yourself far from the world, going deeper and deeper into a state of sacred stillness. And just allow yourself to be. Allow yourself to be simply peace. No need for any other identity or story. It is simply enough just to exist in that pure vibration of sacred stillness. Taking just this moment to empty the contents of the world out of your mind so that you can come home to the eternal you. If I want to live in inspiration, I have to know the art of letting go of the world in moments and in minutes as much as possible. Even if I'm in the world, I can learn to take my mind to the edge of the world, where there is only stillness, where there is only peace. When I learn to do this, inspiration returns because two very special gifts come from this practice. One is that I begin to feel a sense of connection with others, with the divine, with the natural world, and that alone fills me with inspiration to live, to thrive. And the other great gift that comes is as I quiet my mind of all the things of the world, I open myself to receiving the ocean of pure energy that is always flowing towards me. I open myself to receiving the ocean of pure energy that is continually flowing through the universe. With this simple practice of learning to go beyond situations and scenes and drama and just be in the pure vibration of the quality of peace or love or joy, I can renew my life and move from a place of inertia to a place of inspiration. When one is very, very silent, you can hear the faintest sounds like the drop of water on a pond. In the same way, when we are very silent, we can hear the voice of the heart. Some call it intuition, some call it the conscience. But it is a natural intelligence, a voice of wisdom that is tucked deep inside of us. And it is there as a compass to guide us towards an elevated and beautiful life. It is there to guide us towards a life that reflects the beauty and goodness of our souls. When we listen to this voice, there is always success and benefit. But to hear it, we need a simple practice. The practice of going beyond sound daily. Take a moment now and slow your breath down. Allow all your tension to melt away as your body becomes loose and limp and relaxed. And take your mind to a place far, far away from the world of sound, beyond conversations and chatter, beyond even the sound of your own thoughts. Take your mind to a place where silence can soak into your being. And carry you to that core of stillness that is who you are. Allow that silence to seep into every corner of your heart until you are just simply existing as a spiritual being, free of the sound of commentaries in your mind, far, far beyond the sounds of the world, in a space of sacred stillness. To learn to listen to the intuition, we have to become very silent and to go beyond even the physical dimension. So that we can completely clear the mind. Imagine that the world of form around you dissolves and you find yourself in a sea of silence, an even higher, deeper silence than you just experienced moments ago. Peace that relaxes and massages the heart. and allow yourself to enter into this deeply. This practice of going beyond sound daily cleans the mind and prepares us to hear that voice of the heart that is sometimes as quiet as a small drop in a pond. It's a simple practice we just have to remember. From your space of silence right now, ask yourself a question that you've been pondering, something that you've been wanting to understand. Ask yourself a question in the silence and just listen. Listen quietly for any images that may come up, any responses to the question. And pay attention not only in this moment, but throughout this week, having posed the question from a space of silence. Pay attention to any clarity that arises from that space, and allow your intuition to guide you towards a beautiful life.
Good afternoon, everyone. Om Shanti. Greetings of peace. Very warm welcome to Brahma Kumaris Silicon Valley, to the self-development series, Real Me is Powerful Me. Last week, we focused on what exactly does it mean to be powerful. And we also saw where all power is being used and how we can go about becoming more powerful. So today we will continue our discussions on understanding the foundation for building soul power, which is the inner power. There is so much strength that exists within us. We've not even tapped into even 1% of it. That's how I felt. There is still so much. I'm working on and I'm tapping in more within, but there is still so much left that I can derive from and feel myself to be a very powerful being. So as always, we will get started with a guided meditation. Request you to kindly join me. Let's sit comfortably. And take few deep breaths in silence. Relax the body as you deepen your breath. The intention of this meditation is to experience the self, to be a master creator. Everything around me is a creation, and I am the creator. This self-respect finishes all kinds of weaknesses which destroy my powers. I'm a master creator. Withdraw your mind from everything outside and step inwards. A potter creates the pot on the wheel using wet soil, mud. One has to be very attentive, focused, gentle, and move quickly to shape the pot the way you want. One small mistake and the shape of the pot gets ruined. At every moment, I am a master creator of my life. Everything around me, including my body, is my own creation. It's not a random coincidence that I got this particular body. I am responsible for the kind of body I received. And there is no need to feel overwhelmed or proud, but instead, the master creator at every moment needs to be knowledgeful, to be aware that how is he creating everything around him. My every thought is also a creation. And I cannot be helpless or feel subjugated in front of my thoughts or my body. They cannot disturb the Creator. If I don't like my thoughts, I can finish them. I can destroy them at that particular moment. Throughout the day, we create variety of thoughts, ordinary, wasteful, negative, positive. I don't need to feel disgusted or helpless when a waste thought or a negative thought gets created. Instead, I need to detach from that thought, see it as my creation, and finish it if I don't like it. And then create the kind of thought I like. Mind is my server. I can order the mind to create the kind of thoughts I want. Thoughts are the seed through which my words and actions, relations emerge. So if I don't like the way my relationships are going, then I need to observe my thoughts. Every relation is my creation. The kind of family I received, the friends, the colleagues, it is all my creation. Good or bad, it is my creation. If I don't like what I am seeing, I can change it by changing my thoughts, my most powerful creation. Relationships blossom when the thoughts are blossoming. So let me check if my feelings towards all the people that I know are pure and positive. I am shaping my life at every moment. I got to be careful, very attentive. My thoughts, my words, my actions, my relation. This is what my destiny becomes. So I, the master creator, is the creator of my destiny. And it's possible due to ignorance. I didn't create the kind of life I wanted. Maybe there are too many broken pieces. It is never too late to shape up a beautiful life. The creator of all, the supreme, never gets disheartened. He never gives up on anyone. With the blink of eye, I can change the way I think by putting a full stop to whatever happened in the past and starting fresh. The Supreme is with me. He will guide me. He will give me His might. But I have to maintain faith in Him and not be disheartened by what happened in the past. I, the Master Creator, will start today again and write myself a beautiful destiny. Welcome everyone to Real Me is Powerful Me. Today is class number 2. We will focus on basis of soul power. So let's get started. We will save last 5 to 10 minutes for question and answers. And feel free to pose your questions even now. If it won't take too much time, we will go through them right now itself. Otherwise, we save it for the end. So let's start with a simple question. What is it that will make, what is one thing that we can do that will make the soul powerful? There are many different options and you shared few of them. Just want to kind of quickly go over this. What makes the soul powerful? control, faith, positive thought, self-determination, stable mind. Yes, meditation, peace, Raj Yoga, faith, love. Very true. Many of you are saying faith, and indeed, faith is a very, very powerful virtue. And one simple thing that certainly makes the soul very powerful is as simple as happiness. Purity, too, knowing the soul is powerful, spiritual strength, ability to distinguish. Very true. So, happiness is one very important aspect. The moment the soul is not happy, it is draining power. And the one that doesn't know how to be happy will obviously, because the soul's innate personality is to be happy, the soul starts wandering, starts fetching, looking for happiness outside. And that's why it is important to keep ourselves happy at every moment. Otherwise, we end up working very hard. If you even look to your entire day, everything we are doing is towards being happy. And some folks also said service. Yes, serving others, bhakti and seva. Very true. So we all know this particular life that we are leading is a roller coaster. One moment there are things are going our way, the other moment there is a big drop in life, either in relationships or the health of the body or at work, or it could be everywhere. We are seeing a sudden dip. So this kind of roller coaster is on the go, non-stop. It's not like once in a while. In today's date and time, every person is seeing this kind of a roller coaster lifestyle. You don't know when what will come and knock on your door. So we do need power to protect our inner resources. Our inner resources are nothing but our thoughts and feelings, our virtues, our powers. These get destroyed if we are constantly exposed to changes and we don't know how to protect our inner being. Then this constant changes ends up destroying the power of the soul. So we have to learn how to enjoy every scene of life, whether it is going great or not going so great. For example, if there is constant climate change, which is happening a lot these days, the body starts weakening because it has to constantly adjust to different temperatures. And that causes the body to become weak. But now, if we don't understand all of this, and if we let the soul also become weak by constantly changing thoughts, our moods, and emotions, then the soul also becomes weak. So, when it is a given that life is not going to be a straight ride, it is going to be full of up and down, shouldn't we be working on ourselves to ensure that the outside roller coaster does not create a roller coaster inside? There is a question, how do you handle a situation when you have to work with a group of people closely and a few in the group avoid your suggestions, or what you say completely like you don't even exist in the group? No, this is a very valid question that yes, some people might just undermine your presence. They might totally overlook your suggestions and ideas. How do you go about doing it, right? And there's only so much that you can repeat and say that, hey, this is my idea. What do you think? But if others are not even considering, again, it depends upon the kind of situation. This could be family members. This could also be some colleagues, right? Here, it does require a lot of patience. that, that if my opinion is not even being considered, if I'm not even being asked, or if I'm being neglected, even though I speak up, then maybe it is time for me to kind of be quiet for some time, right? And see how it faces out, or how does it shape up. If it is at home, at work especially, I think it's good to kind of maintain that quietness, and even at home to maintain that quietness and see how it goes. And maybe we say that, all right, I will do things the way they are asking me to do. Bending and being flexible is always a good thing. It's actually a very, very good thing. And then when we find out that, things didn't turn out the way they did, and maybe we had suggested something up in the beginning, hopefully people will realize that it's good to consider everybody's opinion. And here it's important to know that indeed this person does, or the group, some people do have certain things against us. Like you're saying, it could be a past karmic account. It's good to maintain that and say, all right, I have great ideas. This team or these people don't appreciate it. It doesn't mean my ideas are not great. I will appreciate their ideas. When we start respecting other people's ideas, and when we get along with them and go forward with their way of doing, eventually that same respect does come back to us. It does require a little bit of faith and patience. So I would request at least to try 2 or 3 times to not speak up at all, unless it's really very troubling that you had something that could make life a lot easier. To not speak up and see how things go. Do people notice that you're not speaking up anymore? Maybe this is what they want. Um, go with the flow. Well, bending and flexibility, if people take it as a weakness, they can. In spirituality, it is considered to be the biggest strength. Ego is not considered as strength. It has to be my way. That is never ever considered to be strength. Things only break if you don't bend. And obviously, we are not going to bend on our principles and values, but we bend on many things like, okay, you want to do it this way, let's go ahead and do it this way. Especially in family matters, it's very good to be flexible. What I have seen is that when you start becoming flexible, eventually, when you say something, after some time, they will become flexible too. You do get the favor back, it never goes wasted. Um, So we have to develop a strategy, a spiritual practice that empowers us to remain stable. That equanimity needs to be maintained no matter whether I am gaining or losing, getting famous or defamed. I have to learn how to deal with all of this. And when we develop those powers, we have such kind of a mastery over both mind and body, and that empowers us to lead the kind of life we want. Whatever we want, that's the kind of life we can lead when we become powerful. So let's continue to understand the power dynamics. what is what is the basis? When do you know that you're, what is one thing where you know that if you do that you're expending, that is spending power or losing power, versus you do opposite, you know you are saving power? What is that foundation? If you do it one way, it becomes saving, versus if you do it the other way, it becomes expending. When very tired, to rest rather than pushing forward while very tired. That is true. What advice could we provide to mothers to that contribute to strengthen child self-esteem and confidence in difficult time? I think love is the best ingredient. Really talking and telling and saying too many things does not really translate to the kids that easily. They don't get all of that. But when they receive unconditional, selfless love from parents, complete acceptance, that confidence automatically builds. When the parent never gives up on child, never loses hope, that is the biggest foundation for self esteem. Pause and respond versus react. Yeah. So, few other things, right? When the mind is creating negative thoughts, wasteful thoughts, automatically negative and wasteful thoughts, the quantity is very high. Whenever you are either, fearful, angry, sad, notice your thoughts. The production will be very high. And when this happens, when the thought is negative or wasteful, then the soul starts draining power because it is moving away from its natural state of being peaceful and happy. And those kind of thoughts which are created with full of negativity, they are in conflict with our conscience. So, for example, greed. I want this also. This is not enough. I need more. This is not in line with our conscience. We will go against our conscience and grab and snatch and demand things. This is not in line. So we are moving away from our natural self, our intuition, our intellect. And this causes the soul to expend power because it is moving away from its natural state of being a pure divine creation. Every soul's innate personality is goodness, purity, and divinity. And we might find it very hard when we look at people who've become extremely negative, including many of us. We've all become very negative when compared to when we started our journey. So it becomes a bit hard to believe. But the reality is, we all have moved away from our innate goodness self. So when we move back towards our natural state of creating very few thoughts, soul in its natural state doesn't create any thought at all. When we were in our home, nirvana, paramdham, the silence world or the soul world, there the soul does not create any thought. So when the soul is in its natural state, the one is completely zero thoughts, the other one is very few thoughts. That is, the soul is only creating positive thoughts. Notice when you are happy, your mind will be very light. There will not be too many thoughts. So when the thought production is low, that is, the quality of thought is very positive, then you are automatically gaining power. And all of these positive thoughts are aligned with our conscience. They are in line with our natural instincts or conscience. And that is why the soul feels very powerful. We go against our inner world, we drain power. And when we are in tune, in line, then we are gaining power. So at every moment, we need to be mindful of our thoughts. What is the root cause of negative thoughts? Question for all of you. What is the root cause of negative thoughts? Desires, wanting more, yes. Fear and anger, suspicion, ego. Very true. Ego is one big reason. All of these negative traits, jealousy, anger, lack of knowledge, insecurity, not happy, yes. When things don't go our way, past experiences, false belief. not remembering that we are from the same soul family, bad karma, sadness, uncertainty, expectations, injustice, we greed, I'm thinking. Yeah, it's pretty much coming down to ego, which from which all the other weaknesses emerge. And that ego is nothing which is basically false identification of the self, which is thinking of ourselves as the physical being, and we start looking outside for everything. So when you recognize yourself as a physical being, a being made out of matter, mother nature, this body, then you are not recognizing that everything is already within you. You have started looking through your eyes, through your ears. We are hunting for happiness. We are looking for peace. We are searching for love. When that happens, our thoughts and feelings go into expansion. This needs to happen, that needs to happen. That is, a lot of desires emerge. If this happens, then I will be happy. If this undergoes, then I will be famous, and so on. So when I have to look for my core needs outside, that time all kinds of negative thoughts will emerge. So if for example I'm looking for everything outside and I start getting it, I will become more greedy, I will want more, and also develop ego that look at me, I am so successful. Or if I don't get what I am looking for, then I get either disheartened or I get angry. So all kinds of negative thoughts emerge when we think of ourselves as a physical being and start looking for everything outside. So the opposite is looking within, realizing that I am this tiny point of light, a spiritual being who already has everything already locked up within. Happiness, peace, love is part of my design. I already have everything that I need. So when we start focusing on our own self, then our mind and intellect are used in a way that we move towards our essence. We are no more searching for happiness. We are no more searching for love. Instead, we are feeling happy and we are sharing it with everyone. So, this is the main difference. Whether you are ego, body conscious, yes, very well said. Scientifically, our brain is wired to identify negatives of the environment. I it's I think we recognize both. We recognize both, but we are habituated to, getting very caught up with negativity. And habits are my creation. I can change them. I never need to feel helpless that, man, I want to be positive, but I become negative. Yes, it will take some time, but everything is changeable because I created it. I don't like it, but I need that determination and some effort. And I can tell from experience that many of my habits, they changed. Some of my habits, which were impatience, carelessness, I wouldn't say they're completely knocked off, but to lot of extent. The more I practice in Raj Yoga meditation, that I'm a loving, peaceful soul. Love and peace and happiness is my core. I see myself every day like that, and I visualize interactions with everyone with lot of love. My heart warms up as I bring up all the people I know. Automatically patience emerges, and every day in meditation I will practice the purpose of my life. Why am I here? What is my responsibility towards myself and towards the world? Carelessness finishes. So, this meditation technique slowly, Raj Yoga meditation starts destroying the habits I created. So, how do we start building power? We will focus on that for the next few slides because we are trying to see the real self as the powerful self, one which we have mentioned in many classes. And I feel this is something that needs to be underlined and repeated again and again, that we do need to take out the time for focused silence, because the natural and eternal state of every soul is silence, thoughtless. That is how the soul is. Its in natural state is it is thoughtless point of light. Early morning, the Brahma Muhurat, is the very auspicious time to practice this. Any time between 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. is a very good time to practice this silence. Visualize in your mind this golden red orange, golden red orange kind of space where there are these tiny dots of light, the supreme as also a dot of light, and then I, the soul, also as a dot of light. Just I am a peaceful soul, and hold on to that thought. Don't go any further. And as we practice this every day, even for few seconds, and then throughout the day also, I do this again and again, seeing myself in the soul world as a point of light, thoughtless. You will see that for few seconds you are able to keep your mind completely silent. This is so empowering for the soul. Our battery starts charging the moment the mind becomes silent. And if you practice this early in the morning, throughout the day, practicing this silence becomes a lot more easily. So, unconditional love, right? So, even if the kids don't do what is expected out of them, can I maintain unconditional love? Now, love and discipline go hand in hand. Now, suppose the kid is expected to clean their room or to do their homework, or to get the grades that they are supposed to, right? If the kid has the potential to get grade A, they should try and get that grade A. But if they're goofing off, it was expected for them to study. My love should still be unconditional for them, even though they goofed up, because kid is kid, because they are going to test our patience. It is our job to guide them, nurture them, and make them the person we want them to eventually, right? But it is a big journey. So my love should be unconditional. I should still be loving and talking to them. At the same time, I might discipline them by saying, hey, because you didn't do your homework or because you didn't clean your room, this is one luxury item that is going away from you for a week, for a day, whatever that might be. But I'm not at all mad at them. I'm okay to talk with them. I'm even okay to hug them. But whatever was expected from them was not done. So I do still have to discipline them. Unconditional love means inside, even though I know this child is testing my patience, I know they are not doing what they are supposed to do, I should not give up hope. That is unconditional love, when a parent doesn't give up. Sometimes the kid might not get it, and because you're taking those luxury items away from them, they might forcefully be doing it. But my personal experience is that eventually this teachings will stay with them, and they will appreciate it once they are out of the house. So I need to have that much patience in me, that much love, that they're constantly trying to test me, but I don't give up on them. We generally, our love starts depreciating the moment they don't listen to us. This is ego, right? That, hey, I'm telling you the right thing. Why are you not listening? So, this is one highly recommended practice, to practice this focused silence. And these 3 steps, one of our heads in Brahma Kumaris highly recommended this, and I'm just copying her guidance here on accumulating soul's power or the silence power every day early in the morning. And you can, even the evening time from 6:30 to 7:30 is also a very good time. It's also considered to be an auspicious time when you can practice this. Early morning is the best, but then in the evening 6:30 to 7:30 you can accumulate this silence power. This power that the soul accumulates, it's amazing how your habits start changing, how the weaknesses start getting destroyed when the soul becomes powerful. So the first step here is to go inwards, and with lot of conviction and confidence. Your mind will keep going, chaotically through disturbing thoughts, the to-do list. Don't get disheartened or disappointed. Watch that disturbance, watch that chaos, just like the ocean waves. They will come and go, come and go. But hold on with full faith. I am a peaceful soul. Say it few times. I am a peaceful soul. And then you will notice that slowly the essence of that powerful thought is doing its magic. You practice it for a week every day, you will certainly see a big change in the way you are feeling. Second step is, as those thoughts, those chaotic, disturbing thoughts emerge, surrender every thought to the Supreme. A thought of jealousy, thought of anger, thought of regret, whatever is coming, thought of to-do list, give it to the Supreme. Say, this is not mine, keep it, I don't want it, you are my parent, take care of it. I am a peaceful soul, that is all I want to hold on to. Everything else, I'm giving it to you. This we need to do repeatedly. Don't evaluate what are those thoughts, why are they coming, how long will they come. Be very stubborn. Thought comes, anything other than I am a peaceful soul, surrender it to the Supreme. And this requires regular practice again and again for few seconds. In the beginning, just start for 30 seconds. Make it a minute, make it 5 minutes. Do it every day. You will be able to hold on to that thought. And throughout the day, I'm a peaceful soul will become very easy. And many of us say that I know I need to be quiet, I should not react. But when the heated moment comes, we react. The one who does this accumulation of silence power, the moment they are seeing their thoughts go disturbing, they can say one sentence inside, I'm a peaceful soul, and that reaction will not occur. Instead, we will sit silently, observe what the other person is saying, and respond only if needed. It's a very powerful practice. Highly recommend doing this from today itself. Today, 6:30 to 7:30, practice this and see how it makes you feel. And in fact, every spiritual power, and we will talk about variety of different spiritual powers in the upcoming classes, that how we can use different spiritual powers in this roller coaster life that comes up to protect our inner resources. A powerful soul will never allow anything to destroy their happiness, their peace, or their love. My personality of being a kind person, nobody should be able to change it. Let them behave as meanly as possible, but they don't have the power to change my kind personality. That's the kind of power we need to have, and it comes through Raj Yoga meditation and positive thinking. And that is why, for us, every day, reading something empowering, listening to something positive is very critical. This mind is habituated to looking at negative, recognizing negative. So we need to read everything positive to make that big shift. So one of the other ways willpower comes back in the soul when we will everything that we have to the Supreme. my body, my relatives, my job, my karma, my past, my mistake, my weaknesses, my when will I transform, when will I change my habits, all of the burdens, everything has been surrendered to the Supreme. I have willed. We write a will, right? Like, oh, all of my belongings should go to my relatives. It's the same thing. Write a will of everything. And all we have is generally our body is not that great anymore. Relatives are not that great anymore. Our habits, our weaknesses, everything is very, very weak. So give that away. Ego doesn't allow us though. I have to fix myself. I have to fix my past. I have to ask for forgiveness. I have to fix my relative. I have to fix my body. Just take care of it with your best effort. Let your happiness not depend on anything that is wrong. Let the Supreme take care of it. Um, I will share the link to the YouTube video which has these instructions, but let me go back also to the slide if you want to note it down. Here is the 3 steps. So it's go inwards, conviction, hold on to the thought, I am a peaceful soul. Then surrender everything else that is opposite of what I am saying is coming. Give it to the Supreme. Our, constant effort. When the Supreme sees how courageously I am, keeping up my practice, even though there are so many disturbing thoughts, I'm not giving up, I'm giving it to the Supreme, you will see how his blessing will enable you to actually experience that silence. And third step is to practice again and again. And this is one more slide to accumulate soul power. We are just sharing many different. So for me, it's a constant interaction with the Supreme. For example, a thought about all the to-do list came. That is one of my biggest things. I'm constantly thinking this needs to be done, that needs to be done. I just, in the Supreme, hey, Supreme, this to-do list is never ending. And I know I can get everything done, and I know you are with me. I'm giving this to you. Remind me so that I don't forget anything. I know you are with me, and I give that to him. Right now, I only want to. So, this is also telling my mind I am not wanting you to think anything but other than just I'm a peaceful soul. We are in many ways educating the mind to become concentrated in one positive thought. If it goes about the past, again, Supreme, I know you are there to help me become light. I know you love me and you accept me irrespective of what my past was. So I give the entire dirty past, good past, everything to you. Come back again to the peaceful thought. And in our daily study, these 3 things came up, and I find them to be very, very empowering on accumulating soul power. So first one is your own personal effort. This personal effort on transforming myself. The Hindi word is Swapurusharth. What is the personal effort I am making to transform myself, remove my weaknesses, my negativity? This is pretty much practicing meditation, reading knowledge, putting in the time, energy, effort towards self transformation. Every soul that transforms themselves to become more peaceful and happy are automatically doing lot of service. Thanks to them, Mother Nature is feeling few vibrations of peace. Mother Nature has become so restless because of all the souls of this world are restless. So it's any effort you are making to become peaceful, loving, happy, positive, kind, is a huge service to Mother Nature and all the souls. The universe and the Supreme reward us by making us powerful. And automatically, if I'm trying to be happy, it means what? I'm becoming powerful. The second one is to remain content, which is again coming back to happiness. Happiness is a bit more light word. Contentment is a more deeper word, which means every situation of life, good or bad, profitable or loss, defamation or fame, whatever is coming my way, I'm maintaining inner stability. I'm not getting carried away by the profit, nor am I giving up because of the loss. Nothing affects me. I remain stable. I know this loss is temporary. I know this gain is temporary. I, the soul, is ever profitable, ever victorious. So the one who remains content, they will automatically make many people content. For example, if you're going through some health issue and you don't tell anyone in the family, you remain content, nobody even realizes that there's something going on in your life. This is called being content and making others content. But if I become discontent, if I'm complaining and constantly telling my family, then one, I got disturbed and I made many other people disturbed. Many people even call back home, which might be some other country, disturb people there as well. You know what all I'm going through, what is happening in my life. So contentment, the one who remains content and makes others content, gains lot of power. The third one is selfless service, helping others without any gains, without any motive of receiving anything, selflessly. This increases the soul power. And the simple service could be through meditation, donating people what they need. In our life, we all come in contact with people who are either very sad or who are going through some big problem. How can I lend them support? Without even them realizing, through meditation, we can send them courage, we can send them hope, we can send them our support. We can also send the vibrations of the Supreme to them. Our words can be so uplifting that it brings them back to their natural, courageous self. So all of these efforts that we make, whether it is the personal effort, swapurusharth, contentment, which is santushtata, selfless service, which is punyaka khata, these three efforts increase the soul power. Every day we should focus on all of these three aspects. Check if there was a disturbing situation or there was a very, very exciting situation. Did you remain stable? Did that stability make others stable too? What change did you make today in the personal effort? And how did you donate, selflessly donate to someone? Every day we have opportunity to work on all these three factors and gain lot of soul power. So just wanted to also go over the symbolic form of soul power, especially if you are coming from country India, you will be very well aware of this, that typically the symbolic form is shown to be some ferocious, strong animal like lion, tiger, elephant, or something that is very symbolic, which is nothing but the inner state of the soul. When the inner state of the soul is fearless, full of power, then they are shown to be riding a lion or a tiger. Nobody can really ride a tiger or lion or a lotus flower or a swan for that matter. But these are very symbolic of your inner state. So when we realize how powerful we are like the Supreme, this is how it is depicted. And all of these hands, which have so many weapons, they are non-violent arms. These are the powers of the soul, the inner power that the soul is using to destroy the evils that exist within the soul. This evil, this devilish figure is not outside. These deity-like figures are not violent. They are completely non-violent. Slowly, through their own thought powers, through their soul power, they're destroying their weak habits, weak personality traits, and that is the real devil. And who can command the powers to emerge from within? Who can have self mastery? Very true. Seeing duties as services, very powerful. Yep. We should never consider any of our duties to be a big burden, but consider it to be a selfless service, whether it is towards our relatives or towards at work. Who can command or have self mastery? Who can command the power, whatever power I want to emerge? Who can do that? Who has mastery over the mind, the soul? Yes, when we are seated on the self respect of being Master, Almighty, Authority, that the mind, the subconscious, the intellect are all my servers. I am not their server. I am not going to do whatever the mind is telling me to do. I'm not going to do whatever my habits or emotions are telling me to do. I'm not going to feel the way my heart is asking me to feel. Instead, at every moment, I, the Master, Almighty Authority, who is the child of the Almighty Authority, I, the Master, Almighty Authority, watches everything and changes and transforms as needed. So it's very important to be seated in that self respect that I have mastery over myself. This does require a lot of persistence, patience, gentleness, because mind, we've not educated for ages. It is habituated to think negatively, to give up easily. But I need to just observe as the mind is giving up, saying, you can never change, Meghna, to say, no, Supreme has told me I am completely like him. I will change, I have changed, and I will change again. And once again, create that thought. So in the upcoming classes, we will go over through all these powers and just want to share some of these powers that we will go through. And these are the powers that will protect all my inner resources. The biggest resource we have is happiness, our virtues, our powers. So how will we protect them? Um, Through these powers, we will be practicing all these powers. In power to adjust, we will see, which we talked about, being flexible or bending, right? We will see how to go about doing that. We will go through many examples to understand which power should be used during which life situation. In this, we will also go power to tolerate, accommodate, then power to pack up, which is basically from expansion to contraction, where the mind is expanding into many thoughts. I bring it to full stop. I detach myself. So this is something which is returning back to my essence. And then power to discern what is right, what is wrong, and then make the right decision. And then power to face any kind of weaknesses, basically become completely fearless, full of courage. So we will be going over a lot of these things in the upcoming classes. We are pretty much all over time. Any questions? If somebody wants to ask a question, and you can raise your hand, I can unmute you, or you can put the question over the chat. No questions? Yes, I can share the link to the recording. Just give me a minute here. Um, so here is the link to the playlist. This has all the recordings that occurred, and even today's recording will be here. So you can access this here. And if you have a minute, please stay back for a short guided meditation. I'm the most extraordinary creation. No other species even comes close to me, the human soul. But real power is in being humble, in recognizing your greatness, but at the same time, recognizing the needs of others who are not as powerful. A powerful soul would respect everyone, would treat everyone with kindness, even if they are being mean. Humility is power, where I recognize the equality of souls. I am neither better nor worse than anyone. We are all uniquely created with our own strengths and weaknesses. We are here to complement each other, learn from each other, not to compete and quarrel. I'm a powerful soul. Peace, love, and joy is my innate personality. And this is what makes me powerful. Thank you all for joining us today. Okay, I'm seeing it is never too late to power our soul. Any day, the moment you awaken is the day you can do it. Power to discern. We will talk about it in the upcoming class in more details. So hold on to that. Yeah, do take all the power from the Supreme, and see yourself as a server, as a nurse who's really taking care. And very important, if you're nurturing someone, you need to nurture yourself, practicing everyday meditation, morning and the end, very, very critical. And about, taking the stand with your kid about what you want to do as the next step, it's okay. As long as in your heart you don't have any ill feelings, as long as you're still feeling love, you're still wanting to help them wherever, I think it is completely fine. We do want to make sure that the child is not just becoming lazy thanks to us. So it's fine. But as long as you still have respect and hope for the child, all is good. No, thank you all for those great words. Appreciate it. Hope to see you all next week. Hope you have a powerful week ahead. Om Shanti.